Hello, Jacob here, with a two-part video to share with you. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, this is also going to be a Minnesota Wild weekly recap video, but there's a couple other sports things I need to talk about here, and one of them pertains to another series I do on my channel during the football season, the Minnesota Vikings recap. And again, let's get into this. So, yeah, just found this out, breaking news of about an hour and a half ago now, but the Minnesota Vikings cut ties with Dan Bailey. And so the kicking carousel continues. Oh, for the love of God, why can we never find a kicker? Like, a kicker will have like a stretch of about, I'd say, 10 games or so where he's just dynamite, rock solid. Then he'll go about 10 games where it's a little muddy, and then they'll have like 3 or 4 games where they look like absolute dog manure and haven't kicked a football in their life. But it's the same thing that happened when we had Blair Walsh. It's the same thing with Daniel Carlson. Yeah, how many of you remember he was a Viking? I mean, Kai Forbath was a pretty good kicker for us, but there was a pseudo kicking. I still really don't know. Remember the train wreck known as Kari Vedvik? Yeah. Needless to say, ugh. And again, it's not like I hate Bailey. It's just, I mean, he is about as consistent as unstirred oatmeal. Which, and the sad part is, it wasn't even like he was missing 60-yard field goals. He could kick those, no problem. It's just the stuff between the 30s. It's like from like 45 to about like 30 to 45 was kind of, I don't even know. So yeah, there's that. And the Vikings did not franchise tag anybody. So again, don't be surprised if a lot of Vikings are gone. Because remember, we already got rid of Kyle Rudolph. Interesting to see where he signs. Just please anywhere but Green Bay. Anyway, so now on to another news of sorts. Yeah, my alma mater, the University of South Dakota women's basketball team, punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament yet again. And the reason why this is special to me is because I was there the first time they made it to the national dance, or the national tournament. And granted, we got curb stomped by Stanford that year, but it was all in all a good success story. And plus, I was also there when when we actually played the WNIT tournament, which, for those of you who may or may not know, that is a national tournament, and ironically enough, we actually ended up playing the University of Minnesota in Minnesota as our only road game against, there's this player by the name of Rachel Bannum, who's now in the WNBA, just a little. So yeah, I mean, moving forward past that, though, they won that national tournament, and again, to this day, that's probably my best sports memories, being a part of a national championship of sorts, even if it isn't the national championship everyone thinks of when they think of the national championship. But still, though, winning a postseason tournament against 64 teams, bracket style, and all that stuff, too. I mean, it's always amazing. Not to mention, seeing the city of Vermillion, South Dakota coming out to that tournament and literally packing, I have never seen the Dakota Dome is what they played at before they moved to their new stadium in 2016. That full. It was full. Like, not even for football games. I didn't see it that full. But again, anyway, like I say, I could do a whole video on USD. But anyway, congratulations, ladies, on making it yet again. Now, on to the Minnesota Wild recap. And why I'm dressed in all this green. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Well, after shitting the bed against Vegas twice, we go into Arizona and absolutely curb stomped the daylights out of them. Game 1. And then Game 2, we get the absolute daylights stomped out of us. They played literally 20 minutes, that game. Like 20, 25 minutes. And that was the game I decided to drink a lot of beer and let's just say, be thankful I did do a post-game video after that. Anyway, kidding aside there and all that. That game against Arizona when they were the double reverse retro night was just an absolute punch to the gut. Like, but thankfully though, everyone else in the West that we needed to lose basically did. Or at least only got like 1 out of the possible 2 points, which definitely helps us. Especially, you know, because again, last night we played Vegas, and going into Vegas, well, Vegas. So, if anyone knows anything about the Vegas Golden Knights, they're pretty good, as I've said before. So, anytime the Minnesota Wild can get some help, get some momentum, get some points going, is huge for us. And I mean huge. So then, last night, we started our 5-game homestand against, well, you guessed it, Vegas. And, yeah, I mean, Kakkonen looked dynamite. I mean, Kakkonen, well, first of all, I should also say here, though, the Minnesota Wild win that game 2-0. And Kakkonen got his first career shutout. Yeah, I think it's safe to say we have the goalie of the future now. I mean, Kakkonen just stood on his head. And there was a nice goal by Fiala. However, I mean, I've only said this a million times, but seriously, we might have the worst power play goal percentage in the history of the NHL by the end of this year. And it's not even gonna be close. I mean, for the most part, we were doing... it's not like we weren't getting shots on the net, well, at least until last night, where, good lord, I'm pretty sure Vegas had the... Anyway. I'm pretty sure Vegas had most of the possession time with the puck when we were on power play. That shows you how bad it was. However, though, like I say, now that we're back at home, we can finally get some practicing in and all that stuff. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it didn't hurt us, obviously. But we still got to stay out of the fucking penalty box, boys. Seriously. I mean, our penalty kill is still like 6th or 7th in the league, which is, you know, one saving grace there. But, again, the power play is our biggest nemesis. But hopefully we can actually now work on it. It can't stay this bad forever, please. Anyway. I mean, at this point I'm begging. But anyway. So yeah, and then of course, to wrap it all up, Jonas Brodin was going towards the empty net, ended up getting slashed, which, well, if you were actually paying attention, he would have made the empty netter. So, they awarded him the goal because it was an empty net penalty that would have ended up going into the goal. I want to say there's like other things that are, I can't remember what other sport it is like that, where if you can literally get awarded like the shot or the goal if you like get fouled on a breakaway when you know you were going to make it. But anyway, so yeah, the Wild are now, after I do the math right, 14-8-1. And I think we're 3rd in the division now. 4 points behind Vegas. And I want to say 1 or 2 points behind St. Louis. And I can't remember if we're still 4th or not. But I know that... Well, no, the reason why I say that's because the West is an absolute cluster, you know what? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like 6 points that separate 1st from like 6th. So, I mean... Yeah, that's the thing with cadet seasons like that, you know, it becomes a bottleneck at the top and the bottom. I mean, so far, as much as I hate to say it, I think San Jose and Anaheim are probably going to be out of it. But, again, who knows? Because, again, it's only like an 8-point difference from, like, 1st to 8th. So, you never know. I mean, weirder things have happened. There's still a whole another month plus of hockey, almost 2 months of hockey to play at this point. So, and yeah, that'll pretty much conclude this because, again, the Wild are looking really good. The Vikings cutting Dan Bailey, which, honestly, a lot of people, including myself, thought they should have a long time ago. But, again, expect more videos on that when it gets closer to the season and all that stuff because I know free agency is going to be an absolute... It's going to be nuts. Let's just put it that way. It usually is, so... Especially with, you know, all the sports leagues losing a lot of money, so the salary cap is going to be a lot less. So, there might be some big names hitting free agency. So, and then the Wild are continuing to do what they need to do here. Be a solid team, get the goals that are needed. Also, I just like to see the speed of this team. This team this year just looks so much crisper, so much fresher, so much better than last year. So, of course, it also helps when your, starting rookie goaltender is literally, he has a .924 save percentage right now. So he's like a top 10 goalie in the league maybe at this point. I mean, for the amount of games he's played, too. I mean, he's played almost 15 games so far, so. But yeah, that'll pretty much wrap up this video. So, stay tuned for another update, and also if anything else major happens in the Vikings world. So, until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good day.